Hi, this is Aprajita with Technical Marketing. In this video, we are introducing the new configuration model for the Elastic Wireless LAN controller and providing general guidelines for its deployment. The purpose of this video is to provide an overview of the config model and highlight key use cases and deployment scenarios. The Elastic Wireless LAN controller config model is based on design principles of reusability, simplified provisioning, enhanced flexibility, and modularization to help manage networks as they scale, and simplify management of dynamically changing business and IT requirements. It provides a model for mapping access points to 3 different types of tags using various methods. The client and AP devices derive their configuration from profiles which are contained within tags. A tag's property is defined by the property of the policies associated with it. There are 3 kinds of tags. The policy tag consists of mapping of WLAN profiles to policy profiles. The policy profile itself defines the network policies and the switching policies for a client. The site tag consists of 2 profiles, the flex profile and the AP join profile. The site tag defines the properties of a site, both central as well as remote. The attributes of a site that are common across central and remote site are part of the AP join profile, and the attributes that are specific to the remote site are part of the flex profile. The RF tag is comprised of the 11A and 11B RF profiles. Access points are tagged based on the SSIDs and the associated policies it broadcasts, the site it belongs to, and the RF characteristics desired for that access point. Once tagged, the AP gets a list of WLANs to be broadcasted along with the properties of the respective SSIDs, the properties of the local or remote site, and the RF properties of the network. There are different types of profiles depending on the characteristic of the network they define. These profiles in turn are part of a larger construct called a tag, as we have just defined earlier. WLAN profile defines the properties of a WLAN such as profile name, status, WLAN ID, security parameters, AAA server, and other parameters that are specific to a particular WLAN. The policy profile has configurations such as VLAN, ACL, QoS, session and idle timeout, AVC bonjour, local profiling, and device classification, amongst other things. Similarly, the AP join profile has attributes such as the primary, secondary, and tertiary controller mapping, heartbeat and discovery timers, and retransmit count and interval. The flex join profile contains the remote site-specific parameters, for example, the smart AP image upgrade setting, the site-specific radio server information, WLAN name to ID mapping, and so on. The RF profiles constitute the RF-specific configurations such as data rates, MCS settings, power assignment, DCA parameters, and HDX settings. A guided workflow has been created for easy navigation through the steps required to set up the network using eWLC. Let's look at a sample use case that shows the flow of the config model. In this example, a site-wide SSID called University is needed across classrooms, the cafeteria, and dorms. A guest SSID is needed in the cafeteria and dorms only. In addition, a high-density RF profile is required for the cafeteria due to high density of students in that space. On the eWLC UI, go to the wireless guided workflow. Step 1 is to create the University SSID that is broadcast on all APs. SSIDs between 1 and 16 are associated with the default policy profile and default policy tag. APs on the system are tagged with the default policy tag, default site tag, and default RF tag. So no additional configuration is needed to get the network up and running. Step 2 is to create a guest SSID broadcasting only on the APs in the dorm and cafeteria. For this purpose, we create an SSID with ID 17 and associate it to a custom guest profile and policy tag. The next step is to create a high-density profile for APs in the cafeteria. This is done by defining a custom RF tag with a high-density RF profile. We can now tag the APs in the dorm and cafeteria with the guest policy tag, and the APs in the cafeteria with the high-density RF tag. In order to configure a remote classroom, turn on the flex profile in a custom site tag and associate it with the appropriate APs. The system is now set up and ready for use.